Hi, everybody. This is Shane R. Monroe with Monroe World, and you may have noticed my last couple of videos have been upscaled music videos from the 80s and 90s. And so some people have commented, like, wow, I didn't think there'd be music videos on your channel. That's kind of cool. So I thought, maybe understanding the process and what sort of what I was looking to sort of do might make this more interesting. So I thought I might take you through sort of the process and yeah. And somebody actually commented, how about some Debbie Gibson, right? So maybe we'll look at that as one of our examples. So there are two products that I've been using. If you look at this OMD versus Sash, I'm going to pause it because I don't want any music to pick up in the background. So I use something called Topaz Video Enhance AI, which is this tool here. It retails for about $200. It's on sale now. If you want $100 off, now's the time to get it. And so both of these products use something called artificial intelligence, AI, of course, to do intelligent upscaling of video. So we know how this works, right? So if you look at my OMD versus Sash, I'm going to try to get somewhere sort of in the middle here. So this is, if you look at this frame, this actually looks, I mean, you don't know what the original looked like, but this actually looks pretty clean, what was done in the middle here. And if you look at the original one, that this actually was ripped from originally, I'm going to nuke that music. Let's see if I can show you that same explosion. Where was that? Is it towards the beginning or towards the end here? Hang on. Where is it? Because I should have paid more attention. But now just take a look at the quality of this video. It's very smeared. It's very blocky. Look at that. It's blocky. It pixel. I mean, there's in some cases there's almost no definition whatsoever in what you're seeing here, right? You're seeing compression blocking and all sorts of other nasty stuff. Um, and in some cases, it's just a smeared nasty mess. So I went on the search trying to find a better version of this video to add to my collection because I'm a huge fan of music videos, and it just doesn't exist. There's just not a high resolution, high quality copy. So that's when I decided I would go ahead and try these products, um, this Enhance AI from Topaz Labs, and there's another tool that I'm going to show you as well. So if you were to now look at, if we were to jump somewhere towards the middle here and just start playing, listen, you can't get blood from a turnip, but what you can see is it's a lot softer, it's a lot smoother. The blocks are gone. I mean, that's crazy. Just seeing all of those blocks are gone. And in some cases, we get back definition. Now, that's just amazing on its own, being able to actually restore stuff that wasn't there, right? I mean, because that's kind of what we're talking about here. I mean, you saw how blocky and nasty that was just a second ago. It's not, listen, it's not a miracle, but it's a lot clearer. And here's the important part. This isn't just making the video look better. It actually doubled it. It's over. I think this was a 5 times zoom. So not only did we actually make it look better, we also zoomed it 5 times its regular size. So that's what these packages are here for, mostly, is to enlarge. So this other tool from DVDFab called Enlarger AI, and it's designed to be an upscaler, right? So you give us some really crappy video, and we're going to kick out something a lot higher, and we're going to do the best to keep the details and improve the quality in some cases. Now that doesn't always work out, right? Sometimes you just get a decent rescale that doesn't look all blocky. This Topaz Video Enhance AI is doing some weird voodoo. Now I've got this running in the background right now, and I am encoding an episode of The Greatest American Hero. So this is 1981. It was never released in high definition. Um, th- Listen, the DVD is the best you got, and it's not great. So what's going on here, and this is mid-process. Now, it says that there's another hour and 37 minutes. This has been going on for almost 8 hours already. And as you can see, this isn't speeding along. So this is your progress bar. It's not going very fast. But if you take a look, I mean, look at what we're dealing with here. Look at how fuzzy and nasty. I mean, this was obviously ripped from a DVD, and it looks like it. These spokes are fuzzy, right? But look over here. They're clean. You can see that they're actually being sharpened frame by frame. Look at his hair, and then look at his hair over here. There's a detail. Now, obviously, we're not seeing much here, and depending on what it is, the process does better. We're going to check back in with this in a little bit. Because, in this particular scene, we're not seeing a lot of enhancements. But if you look at his face, the fuzziness of his face is cleaned up here. But let's let this run, and we'll get to another scene that maybe is a little bit brighter. So let's go back to the video list. Now, this is a Kylie Minogue video. Again, this is like one of her very first videos because she's like 18 in here. And this was upscaled using DVDFab's Enlarge AI. And that wasn't, I intentionally used both products so that I would have two things to compare. This came off of a DVD. I ripped this myself off of a DVD, and DVDFab will actually allow you, DVDFab will actually allow you to rip from a disc directly into this Enlarger package. And I'm going to show you this package a little bit more in a minute because we're going to do a Debbie Gibson thing. Now, this looks good. I mean, honestly, considering the age of this video, that it came off of a DVD, this has been upscaled, and it took absolutely no effort on my part. When I say no effort, I mean no effort. I literally put the disc in, I clicked what chapter I wanted to rip from the disc, it did the rest, and this is what it kicked out. Now, I understand that without being able to see the original, it's harder to it's harder to appreciate, but let's do this. This sort of segues into what I want to talk about. So if I were to search for Kylie Minogue's I Should Be So Lucky, so there's a handful of uploads here, but let's say that we actually got like the official version from Kylie Minogue herself, right? So this is her copy of the video. This is what she is sharing with her fans. Oh, I guess this isn't, I guess that's just the audio. Where is it? Hang on. I did find this before. Extended version. Guitar cover. Come on. So I guess this is what we got. And I'll tell you if this looks fairly. I'm sure this was ripped from the DVD as well. So let's just kind of look at that. That is what the video looked like originally. In fact, I can assure you that this is what it looked like when I ripped it off of the disc myself. This is it. This is what the quality looked like. Honestly, it looks like crap, right? I mean, if you were to go back and look at my upscaled version again, now that you've seen that, it almost looks like a different video. I mean, look at how much sharper and bright. Everything looks great. So, and that required no work whatsoever on my part. I simply fed a disc to this software, to DVDFab, and it did the rest. Now, this guy will give you good results in certain cases, and Topaz Video Enhance will give you good results in other cases. So it's sort of a case-by-case basis. Let's go back to our Greatest American Hero in progress. Right now, it looks pretty close. I mean, I would have trouble. Now, look at the emblem on his suit. There's a fuzzy sort of haze over it. Not over here. Nice and clean. Look at the fabric of his cape. Right? Definitive difference. Look at the fabric of his suit. It's fuzzy. You can see the creases. Now, in this case, we got a nice close-up face shot, which doesn't always work. But you can see that in some cases, it tries to clean the hair up, but we're right back to this dark spot again. We'll come back and look at that again. So let's say that I was going to do, a Debbie Gibson song. Let's do her very first song, which is Out of the Blue. Oh, Kylie's still playing. So the first thing I do, of course, is I go to YouTube like everybody else and see if I can find the song to actually feed through. Sorry, it was only in my dreams, the first one, right? Oh, no, wait a minute. It was out of the blue. I was looking at this earlier. That's the only reason I know. All right. So this is from Rhino. This is a big record label. You would think that this video would be great shit. This would be great quality. And you would be wrong. Look at it. Look at the grain. Look at the popping. Uh, this would be starting with a very poor video source. Now, I don't have, look at that. You see how it's all fuzzing out? So I could rip this down from YouTube and try to send it through one of the AI or the upscalers. I could. I think I can do better. So what other versions are there? Right? The honest truth is, here's one here. This looks like it was ripped from tape. It's very, very soft. But look, there's not a lot of compression stuff going on. Look, it actually is fairly clean. This would be a good candidate. So, there's a million and one ways to do all of these things. I'm showing you guys the tools that I use. So I use something called Wondershare Uniconverter. It's a huge toolkit full of almost anything you'd want to do with video. It also happens to make a very good downloader tool. So I simply pasted the URL. It picked it up out of my, you can see it's the same one, D9NL, right? And it's going to ask me, what version of it I want. Well, it says there's a 1080p version, but was I already looking at that? I don't know. Well, let's grab the best copy that we can. And we'll let this download. Then we'll take a look. It says it's 1080p, but is it a basic upscale? We don't know. It's 63 megs. All right. And let's take a look. Okay, hang on. Let me mute this thing. I don't want a copyright hit. All right. So this looks like a pretty poor. It looks like what we were watching. So to upscale this probably wouldn't work out. We would want to run this through probably Video Enhance AI and let it do some cleaning. This is actually, for the age of the video, this is actually pretty decent. You can tell it's ripped from tape too. You can see the scan lines at the bottom. So this looks pretty good. I would run that through Topaz. So in this case, I've already got a 1080p version of it, but I would want to see if I could clean it up and enhance it. So I would run it through this Topaz, right? Which we can still see is chewing away. Look at the fuzzies of his hand, much cleaner. Again, we're at the spokes, a little cleaner. Unfortunately, I'm not going to stop this 8-hour job for us to run through a Debbie Gibson video. But I'm relatively sure that I could improve the quality of this with an upscale. All right, well, since we're in the Debbie Gibson mood, let's see what kind of, oh, I'm sorry. All right, let's see if there's a, Shake Your Love was a pretty big song, but let's see what this version looks like. So it looks okay. What are we talking about quality-wise here? So this is a 480. This might be as good as this one gets. Let's see if we can find a better quality one. Live versions, blah, blah, blah. So that might be it. This might be as good as it gets. So let's grab this one. All right, so once again, we're going to send it through Uniconverter, let it download it. Sorry, Deb. All right, so 480 is the best we got. Good. This will be a much better proposition for what we've got available to us here. All right. That's more like it. So let's take a look at this. All right, well, this is a good candidate because it's small and it could use a little bit of help. So that's perfect. So I am going to launch. Sorry, I'm off screen here. I'm going to launch DVDFab 11. Oh, it says it's already running. Where is it? Sorry, I rescaled my screen, so who knows where it went. Making prepared for this video. Where'd it go? All right, well here, let me. Oh, there it is. Perfect. All right, so this is a very minimalistic interface, right? So what turns a lot of people off of DVDFab is because it's paid software, and to be honest with you, it's not what I would call super cheap, right? So they push their all-in-one tool, which basically gives you pretty much everything, right? If you're looking at just Enlarge AI, um, that's going to cost you $80 on its own, right? So if you could get this all in one, and it does have that included, which I don't remember if it does or not. Let's see. See. So your $80 of the, what is it, $258 that they're asking for, right? So you got to start doing the math. If we look at DVDFab in terms of what my license gives me access to, these are all the modules that I get for that $258. And these are lifetime license. I don't have to renew these every year, including Enlarger AI. Right, I got these 4K ones weren't included with my package when I bought it. So these are in trial mode. But everything else, the Ultra HD rippers, the Blu-ray rippers, the DVD rippers, all of that other stuff's included. So you buy two modules and you know what I'm saying? You're pretty close to getting close to that price tag. So there's plenty of trial versions, try them out. It's a big expenditure to spend that kind of money, but when you start looking at what you get, it's crazy. So when I said that the Enlarge AI was built into the software, it's built into the modules, right? So if I grab Shake Your Love and I drag it over here, right? This is a converting module. So its job is to convert from one format to another. However, as it turns out, Enlarge AI is one of the modes I could be using, which would be either converting it to an MP4, converting it to an AVI or whatever. And so I have my opportunity to pick some basic settings. They also have a D-block mode and an ultra D-block mode. So these are very turnkey, easy settings for anybody to use. If I take you over to Topaz Video Enhance AI, it gets a little more scary, right? So we're just going to leave it. We're going to leave it at the defaults, right? So I could go high quality and make it huge. I could make it smaller and faster, but I'm going to leave it at the defaults because, well, that's where I like to have it. And that's what you would get out of the box and you could use right now. So I'm going to go ahead. Now, understand that I've got Topaz running in the background, and right now it's chewing like 30% of my GPU. So because these are all very GPU dependent, you may not have compatible hardware. I have an RTX 2060, the non-super edition, and it works great. Your mileage may vary. Please check the requirements before you spend any cash, because a lot of GPUs will not be compatible. So I'm going to hit start. Now, one thing that you may notice from time to time is this does use a cloud-based system. So DVDFab will be calling home a lot. And I know it comes from .cn, and everyone's a little freaked out about it. Listen, you got to decide what's right for you. But this Enlarge AI, the AI model, the model that is trained to be able to do this process, it needs to phone home. It needs to be done in the cloud. We don't have enough space on our machines to hold this stuff, right? So let the cloud do what it needs to do. Now, Enlarge AI, this is on a 3.5-minute video or whatever, right? This is still going to take a while. But we can speed this along. So we've got some estimated time here that it might take. And we'll start seeing a percentage of the process soon. So a lot of times what it does is it thinks for a little while, and then all of a sudden it'll start kicking in the numbers. But that's really it, though. I mean, when I say that that it's very easy to use, I just selected a file, drug it in, made sure I had Enlarge AI selected, and I go, right? That's crazy. So after a period of time, this will be done and I will have the video spit back out, and that's it. I don't have to do anything else. Um, yeah, and so while this thing is doing its thing, um, this main interface, right? So there's disk copiers, disk rippers, content creators, all of these modules, most of these modules, the ripper, especially in the converter, all have Enlarge AI as sort of an output mode, right? So, I mean, there's a little bit that you have to get to use. Notice that my GPU is now pegged completely, and almost all the available memory of my video card is being used right now. And remember, part of that is Topaz doing its deed as well, right? So Topaz is, um, look at how much of my GPU it's sucking up. It's crazy, right? And then, DVDFab's got to, fight for the rest of it. It's not even using my GPU yet, but it will. So anyway, I mean, without going into greater detail on how Video Enhance AI works, which by the way, this has a full free trial. It's 30 days and there's no watermarks or limitations, right? So this is generous. Imagine what you could do for the next 30 days with with a video enlarging AI engine, all your very own, right? You can do that. And listen, if I can get a lot of these old music videos and upscale them and make them look better, and I can spend $200 for it, I mean, that's not in everybody's budget, but that's not completely outside the realm of mine. So one of the other things I wanted to talk about while this thing is off converting, and it's not going very fast. I mean, like I said, the Topaz thing is running too. Um, is YouTube is not the be all end all, right? So if you were looking to do this and trying to find the best quality copy, start with a disc, start with physical media, right? If I already went out and looked, Debbie Gibson does not have a DVD or Blu-ray of her music videos. Otherwise, I would have ordered it. Kylie Minogue, however, does. So I ripped from the Kylie Minogue disc. Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark does not have a video disc of their music videos. So I had to deal with what I had. And that OMD versus Sash edition is even more difficult to try to come up with. So again, starting off with as good a quality copy as you can is a good start, right? So if I just search YouTube for Debbie Gibson Shake Your Love, right? That's the exact one I just pulled, and that's the top result. Now, it's probably prudent to click over to videos and start scrolling down. This is Google after all, so YouTube stuff is always going to be on top. But as you start scrolling down, you may find stuff like Dailymotion, right? Dailymotion's copy might be better than YouTube's. I know that sounds crazy. It's like, oh no, YouTube's would be the best. You would be surprised at how much better Dailymotion or hang on a second, it's very loud. You'd be surprised. Well, in this case, it's absolutely not true. This is terrible. Look at that. But I have found videos on Dailymotion that are better than YouTube. And there's a handful of these other video servers. I mean, obviously, YouTube is pretty much the bulk of this. But hey, do your legwork, right? If you're really serious about this stuff, go out and buy a disc with the videos on them if you can, right? That'll be your best rip possible. But otherwise, you've got to start looking at where else on the internet can you get this stuff. Now, we are still sitting here at 1%, so this is not going to end anytime soon. I'm going to pause this, and I will get back to this, and I will post the video. But now you'll be able to see the final video because I'll upload it to my channel, and you can see the fruits of our labor here. So we'll just let that go. Let's pop over to Topaz and see if we're in any better shape. We're not in any better shape. We are still in this last scene. Of course, I also sucked down all the GPU as well, so I may have to actually cancel this to get that GPU back. You see, I just went to 5 days. Yeah, cancel everything. I can add this again later. There we go. Now I can see things are going back to normal back here. Um, and again, we're in the same scene with the same colors and everything, so. Yeah, we're not gonna get a whole lot of work done here, I don't think. At least I'm counting down my time here. Anyway, so that's what this whole video thing is, and I'm looking at trying to upscale different sources, animated stuff. There's a lot of things, man. I mean, could you imagine like running the old Rankin Bass The Hobbit cartoons through this thing and upscaling those to 1080p or 4K? It could be done, and there are people that are using these tools for just that sort of thing. Well, listen, guys. I'm not going to keep you. Obviously, we're not getting anywhere here. We're sort of in a holding pattern, and I will do that. I will do the Debbie Gibson video and post it since everyone seemed to be excited about me posting Debbie Gibson. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, as usual, please subscribe, like the video, and hit the notification bell, and you'll be the first ones to know when we got something new. So, this is Shane R. Monroe. Thanks for watching.